Have you ever wondered what happens after you take a big bite of a juicy apple? It's the start of an incredible adventure. Globally, humans eat over 4 billion metric tons of food every single year. That's a mountain of food. All of it has to go on a journey through a very special system inside you. This system is called the digestive system. It's like a long, winding water slide that's about 9 meters or 30 feet long. That's as long as a school bus. This amazing system is made up of many different organs, all working together like a perfectly trained team to turn your breakfast, lunch, and dinner into the fuel that lets you run, jump, and even think. The journey begins the moment food enters your mouth. This isn't just a waiting room. It's the first stop where the real work begins. Your teeth are like powerful little crushers. They tear, grind, and mash the food into smaller, more manageable pieces. This is called mechanical digestion. While your teeth are busy crushing, your salivary glands release a special liquid called saliva. Saliva does more than just make your food wet. It contains special molecules called enzymes that start breaking down complex carbohydrates, like the ones in bread, right there in your mouth. So, even before you swallow, the process of digestion has already kicked off. Once you've chewed your food into a soft, mushy ball called a bolus, it's time to swallow. This is where your tongue plays a heroic role. It pushes the food to the back of your throat and into a tube called the esophagus. Think of the esophagus as a muscular slide connecting your throat to your stomach. It's not just gravity that pulls the food down. The esophagus uses a series of powerful, wave-like muscle contractions called peristalsis. It works like squeezing a tube of toothpaste from the bottom up, ensuring your food gets to your stomach even if you were to eat while hanging upside down. This first stage is super important for your health. Chewing your food thoroughly makes the rest of the journey much easier for your digestive system. It gives the enzymes in your saliva more surface area to work on and reduces the workload for your stomach. If you rush and swallow big chunks, your stomach has to work overtime to break them down, which can sometimes lead to discomfort or indigestion. Taking your time to chew is the first step in being kind to your gut and helping your body get all the amazing energy locked inside your food. We've only just begun our 9-meter trip. After its quick trip down the esophagus, your food makes a grand entrance into the stomach. The stomach is a J-shaped muscular bag that acts like a powerful cement mixer. When it's empty, it's surprisingly small, but it can stretch to hold up to 1.5 liters of food and liquid. That's more than a large bottle of soda. The walls of your stomach are incredibly strong and produce powerful juices. These juices are a mix of hydrochloric acid and more enzymes. The acid is so strong it could dissolve metal, but don't worry. Your stomach has a special secret weapon, a thick layer of mucus that coats its lining, protecting it from being digested by its own powerful acid. Once the food arrives, the stomach's muscular walls get to work. They begin to churn, squeeze, and mix the food with the gastric juices. This constant motion, combined with the chemical breakdown, turns the solid food into a thick, soupy liquid called chyme. This process can take anywhere from 2 to 4 hours, depending on what you've eaten. Fatty foods take longer to break down than carbohydrates or proteins. This is why a meal full of healthy fats, like avocado or nuts, can help you feel full for a longer period of time. Your stomach is doing some serious science in there. This acidic environment does more than just liquefy your lunch. The powerful hydrochloric acid has another critical job. It kills most of the harmful bacteria and viruses that might have hitched a ride on your food. It's like having a built-in sanitization station right in the middle of your body. The main enzyme in the stomach, called pepsin, gets activated by the acid and specifically targets proteins like those in meat, eggs, or beans. It starts snipping these long protein chains into smaller pieces, getting them ready for the next stage of the journey. The health of your stomach is vital for your overall well-being. It's the gatekeeper that prepares food for the most important part of digestion, nutrient absorption. If the stomach doesn't produce enough acid, food may not be broken down properly, and harmful microbes might survive. On the other hand, too much acid or a weak mucus layer can lead to problems like heartburn or ulcers. This amazing organ is a perfect example of a finely tuned biological machine, performing a tough and messy job so the rest of your body can get the building blocks it needs to thrive. After the stomach has worked its magic, the soupy chyme is ready for the next and longest part of its journey. A small valve at the bottom of the stomach, called the pyloric sphincter, opens up and squirts small amounts of chyme into the small intestine. The small in its name is a bit misleading. While it's narrower than the large intestine, it's incredibly long. If you were to stretch it out, it would measure about 6 to 7 meters, around 22 feet. That's longer than most cars. This is where the main event of digestion happens, absorbing all the good stuff from your food. The small intestine is a bustling hub of activity, and it doesn't work alone. It gets some very important help from a few friends: the liver, the gallbladder, and the pancreas. The liver produces a greenish liquid called bile, which is stored in the gallbladder. When chyme enters the small intestine, the gallbladder releases bile to help break down fats, much like how dish soap breaks up grease on a dirty plate. At the same time, the pancreas sends in its own powerful cocktail of enzymes. These pancreatic enzymes are master chemists, breaking down carbohydrates, proteins, and fats into their smallest possible forms. The inside of the small intestine isn't smooth. It's covered in millions of tiny finger-like projections called villi, and even smaller projections on them called microvilli. These structures dramatically increase the surface area of the small intestine. In fact, if you could flatten out all these folds and villi, the total surface area would be about the size of a tennis court. This massive surface area is the secret to its incredible efficiency. It creates a huge space for the now tiny nutrient molecules, like glucose from carbs, amino acids from proteins, and fatty acids from fats, to pass through the intestinal wall and enter the bloodstream. Once these nutrients are in the bloodstream, they are whisked away to every single cell in your body. This is how your muscles get the energy to move, your brain gets the fuel to think, and your cells get the materials to repair and build new tissues. The small intestine is the true hero of nutrient delivery. Without its incredible length and intricate folded surface, our bodies wouldn't be able to absorb enough nutrients to survive. It ensures that every last drop of goodness is extracted from the food we eat, powering our lives from the inside out. After the small intestine has meticulously absorbed all the valuable nutrients, what's left of the food mixture moves on to the final major stop on our tour, the large intestine. This part of the digestive tract is shorter and wider than the small intestine, measuring about 1.5 meters or 5 feet in length. The material that enters here is mostly water, indigestible fiber, like the tough parts of vegetables, and other waste products. The main job of the large intestine, also known as the colon, is not to digest food but to perform a critical cleanup and recycling operation before the journey is complete. The first and most important task of the large intestine is to absorb most of the remaining water from the indigestible food matter. It carefully draws the water back into the body, preventing dehydration and turning the liquid waste into a more solid form. This process can take a significant amount of time, anywhere from 12 to 24 hours. The large intestine is also home to trillions of friendly bacteria, collectively known as the gut microbiome. These tiny helpers are essential for our health. They feast on the fiber that our bodies can't digest and in return produce important vitamins like vitamin K and some B vitamins that our bodies can then absorb. These helpful bacteria do more than just make vitamins. They play a huge role in keeping our immune system strong and protecting us from harmful bacteria. A healthy and diverse gut microbiome is linked to better overall health, from improved digestion to a better mood. As the water is absorbed and the bacteria do their work, the waste material, now called stool, slowly gets more solid. It's moved along the colon by the same type of muscular contractions, peristalsis, that we saw in the esophagus, just much slower. This gives the body plenty of time to reclaim that precious water. Finally, the solidified waste reaches the last part of the large intestine, the rectum. The rectum acts as a temporary storage facility. When it becomes full, it sends a signal to the brain, letting you know it's time to visit the bathroom. The waste is then eliminated from the body through the anus, completing the 9-meter journey that started with a single bite. From the initial crunch in your mouth to the final exit, this entire incredible system works tirelessly 24 hours a day to break down your food, absorb its nutrients, and provide you with the energy you need to live. It's a complex, coordinated, and absolutely amazing process that keeps us all going every single day.